They laughed when he said he'd become the Pope, but now they kneel. Years ago, Cardinal Matteo was mocked in hushed tones. Too young, too radical, too common. He thinks he's holy enough to lead the church, snorted Cardinal Rossi, sipping his aged wine. He can't even lead a prayer without stuttering. Matteo heard them, every whisper, every snide remark, but he smiled. God hears everything, he'd say. So I don't have to answer. Not yet. Years passed. Scandals erupted. Power shifted. When the conclave came, Matteo knelt and rose white-robed. Pope Innocent XIV, his first decree, a purge of corruption. Quiet meetings became public confessions. Cardinals were removed, including Rossi. Rossi trembled as the guards approached. You can't do this. I've served the church for 40 years. Matteo stepped forward, eyes calm. You served yourself, he said. Now serve your penance. The bells of St. Peter's rang not just in prayer but in justice. They used to call him the pig boy. Now they call him Mr. Mayor. In the tiny village of Lower Fungilet, Ian was known for two things, cleaning pig pens and once accidentally painting the church bell tower pink. Ha! This guy won't even be mayor of a chicken coop, laughed Marius, the longtime mayor who drank homemade plum brandy at every wedding, funeral, and Tuesday. But Ian played it smart. He fixed potholes with a shovel, set up village Wi-Fi using a neighbor's satellite dish, and even convinced old lady Maria to pay taxes with a sack of potatoes. Election time came. Marius ran the same slogan, vote for me, or the cows stop giving milk. Ian ran with fewer speeches, more working toilets. He won by a landslide. Even Marius's goats somehow voted for him. First day in office, Ian moved Marius's desk into the old pigsty. Marius barged in, furious. This is your revenge. Ian handed him a mop and grinned. No, Marius, this is poetic justice, with a side of manure. The villagers still laugh about it somewhere between gossip and stuffed cabbage. They said he wasn't NASA material. Too quiet, too weird, too average. He just nodded and kept training. His teammates laughed behind his back. One even swapped his oxygen line during drills. He almost died, but he said nothing. They went to space without him. He stayed on Earth watching every move. Then came the Mars mission. Life or death, no room for mistakes. And guess who was chosen to lead? The quiet one. He redesigned the protocols, checked every system twice, and gave them the oxygen tanks. Halfway to Mars, the systems failed. Panic erupted, but not for him. He had the override codes. He had the backups. He had planned for this. I warned you, he said in a private transmission. You laughed. I listened. He turned the ship around alone. Saved the mission, saved the planet. They returned heroes, but only he had his name carved into history. Revenge doesn't need shouting, just silence and space.